Hi, I'm Mary Beth Stapleton, Manager of Family and Community Partnerships for Hartford County Public Schools. I'm here at Halls Crossroads Elementary School with Miss Chrissy Douglas to talk about the parent and community engagement liaison work that we're doing across the county called Keeping Pace. Nice to see you today, Miss Douglas.
Nice to see you as well.
Thanks for being here. We're talking today about the amazing work going on at Halls Crossroads about the Parent and Teacher Association standards, PTA standards we've been talking about. We're going to highlight today Standard 1, which is welcoming all families, and Standard 6, which is how do we collaborate with the community. And Halls Crossroads is the perfect example of how to do both of those standards in the highest efficiency. So Ms. Douglas, to start about the PTA Standard 1 and how do we welcome all families, can you talk a little bit about where we are? It's called the Parent Place, right?
Yes, you are here in the Parent Place at Halls Crossroads Elementary. It is one of 3 rooms that are devoted to welcoming our families at various times throughout the year and even throughout the school day when we're able to. Here in this environment, parents come together and learn from each other in small group sessions that we hold that are of interest to them based on data that we take from our community, as well as regular formal sessions that are provided through our community stakeholders like financial planning or planning nutritious and healthy meals for your family.
Wonderful. So that's that Standard 1, welcoming all families, having a place where they feel comfortable to connect with each other and to connect with school-based staff. The other standard we're talking about is, again, collaborating with community. And I know you have that great Neighbors Initiative, and we're going to talk more with your staff about that. So those are the 2 standards that we're going to highlight. So now we're going to focus on that Standard 1. How do we welcome the families? And I have with me Melissa Stout, who's our Teacher 1 specialist. Thanks for joining me, Melissa.
Thank you. It's nice to be here today.
It's so great to have this space for families to come and be. So can you talk a little bit about what kinds of activities you do here and how do you know what to offer the parents?
Sure. Well, we survey our parents, and based on that data, we really plan out some thoughtful, meaningful parent workshops that build our parent capacity and just to assimilate our families into our school and our community. We've been working specifically in the area of working with our ELL families to have them really develop a sense of community in our school and out in the community as well.
So ELL are English language learner families, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. So that means that families who may speak a different language.
Yes.
And so you're creating programs that will actually speak to them in their language and how to connect them and help them understand schools, right?
Yeah, so it was started to help them introduce them to our school, get to know everyone in our school building, and just to have them understand the importance of attendance and understand our curriculum.
Wonderful.
And just really to build their parent capacity, helping them connect with with internet services and tech support as needed.
And that's literally, so when you look at the standards, excelling, that's the exact definition you'll see in those PTA standards. It's having a family resource center that you actually are engaging families, even those families who do not speak English. And it's the perfect example. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So Angelica Taylor is joining me to talk about PTA Standard 6, which is how do we collaborate with the community. Angelica is our community school specialist, so that works in your title. So thinking about what you're doing here to engage the community in this great work, how do you do that?
Sure. So as Mrs. Stout mentioned before, we start the school year off by providing our families with a comprehensive needs assessment. In that assessment, we ask our families what they need as far as what type of workshops they would be interested in, what community resources they might need. So from those results, we then build our program. We work with our community partners on donations for things like food, household items, toiletries, those financial and nutrition workshops, as Mrs. Douglas mentioned. Then from there, in addition to the needs assessment, we also, as we had mentioned, have the Great Neighbors program. So we meet bi-monthly with our Great Neighbors to hold a meeting just to kind of talk about some needs that we have here, other ways they can help the community. And we also send out a monthly newsletter to our Great Neighbors, just kind of keeping them up to date with the things that are happening here at Halls and in the community at large.
Right. And that Great Neighbor initiative you've had for a few years here, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they started it about 5 years ago. So it's been really great to come into a program that has been developed that I can just add on to.
Wonderful. So here at Halls, we have the perfect example of those two standards, right? That PTA Standard 1 of how do we have a family resource center for parents, and then also that community collaboration, which you've spoken about. So thanks for joining us today for Keeping Pace, and thank you to the Halls Crossroads staff and the amazing work they're doing here.
Thank you.